Did any of you all see the news about the young about the the young police officer, female, that shot the guy? Did y'all see the, y'all see the But did you see what what the guy's brother did? Right, the guy's brother. He's 18 years old, and so when he was addressing the court about the sentence, he asked the judge not to give her any jail time. Yeah, he asked the judge not to give her any jail time, and then he said, "Can I hug her?" And he was, tears, everything. He said, "Can I hug her?" And the judge was hesitant because the judge didn't know what he was going to do. But then, the judge said, okay. And so she got up, because normally, she's not supposed to come forward. She got up and met him right in front of the judge. And they embraced for a long period of time, both of them crying on each other's shoulder. And so they interviewed his mother outside the courthouse. And she was pleased with the time. She also didn't want the woman to get a lot of time. She just wanted the truth to come out. And she said her main objective was that there's a lot of corruption, which was evident through the trial, and the prosecutor did an excellent job of bringing stuff out. That she just wanted to, to uncover the corruption, and that she thought that was ample time for that police officer to reflect on all the harm she had done to that family. I just thought that was remarkable. It was a remarkable show, of people that had compassion and love to say, you just killed my brother, but I love you anyway, and it was a genuine, I love you anyway. I just thought it was a wonderful
Pastor, when you really saw the way that he was embracing.
Right, yeah. It was real. Well, yeah, I thought she should have got about 25 years herself. But, that's me. See, I can love you while you're locked up. That's me. I put a couple of dollars on your ticket every once in a while. And everything be everything. Okay. We're in Proverbs 18, right? Proverbs 18, and we're starting at verse 8. Proverbs 18, verse 8. Okay? And, thank you. Yeah, Proverbs 18, verse 8. Any questions about anything we've covered so far? No? Okay, good. All right. Okay, so let's go. Okay, Proverbs 18, verse 8. And as I mentioned to you before, some of these verses we're going to do individually, and some of the verses we'll do collectively, all right? Because some of them fit together that way. And so in verse 8, what we have is this. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost part of the belly. The words of the talebearer, and you all know what a talebearer is? A gossiper, right? A gossiper, someone who continues to keep the story going. That's a talebearer. So he's saying that, listen, gossiping hurts people. That's basically what he's saying, that gossiping hurts people, right? Now, who does the gossip hurt? That's why I say, well, there are his wounds. Who does the gossip hurt? It hurts the person you're talking about, and sometimes the person you're talking to, right? And sometimes it hurts both people, right? Who you're talking about and who you're talking to, right? Because sometimes the gossip is supposedly meant to help, but oftentimes the only thing it helps is you tell your story. Right? Okay, so the moral of that story is simple. And what is that? That's right. If it ain't your business, keep it to yourself. Right? Keep it to yourself. Okay? Why? He's saying because good gossip hurts you deep down. And this, when I say good gossip, because what? When I say good gossip, right, I don't really mean it's good. I mean the only time you want to gossip about something when it hurts somebody. You don't want to gossip about something. You ain't going to gossip and say, that the person was not speeding. Right? You're not going to gossip and say that the usher and the deacon, the deacon jumped the usher's car, with his jumper cables. That ain't what you're going to gossip about. What you're going to gossip about is, he was over her house till 2 o'clock in the morning. It don't take that long to jump nobody's car, do it. That's what the gossip is going to be about. And so, y'all saw him over there too. So that's what this is referring to, is that what? You don't have to tell everything. Keep it to yourself, okay? Keep it to yourself. Because if it's not going to benefit somebody, keep it to yourself. Like what your mom always tells you. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing at all. And don't lie to yourself and think that what you got to say is good when you gossiping on somebody. Okay? Right. Now, if you're not sure if it's gossip, what should you do? No, call me up. Tell me. And then I'll let you know if it's gossip or not. Okay? Just a joke, right? Don't call me up with some crazy stuff. Okay, verse 9. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster, right? And that's just straightforward stuff, saying what? If you're lazy, then basically lazy people are wasteful people. And what makes a lazy person a wasteful person? Because normally when you think of wasteful, you don't necessarily tie it in with lazy people. Why do you think he says that a lazy person is a wasteful person?
They're wasting their talent.
Because they're wasting talent and time, right? You're wasting talent and time. Because you may not have talent,
Right.
but you still are wasting something that's more valuable than talent, which is time. Okay? So whatever thou doest, you ever been around people that will take an hour, especially the last hour of the day, to do nothing? Huh? Yeah. Get it done. Get it done. Okay? Then verse 10 and 11 we're gonna put together. All right? 10 and 11 says this: the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall in his own conceit. Okay? The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and has a high tower wall in his own conceit. So, in other words, what do he say? He's doing a comparison between how the righteous think and how most rich folk think. Now, that doesn't mean because you're rich you cannot be righteous. But what he's talking about here is the rich folk that are not righteous. All right? So we know that righteous folk, another reason why this is a key thing, because even people that are poor, how you doing tonight? Even folk that are poor oftentimes forget this key point. All right? And that is that where should your safe place be according to this? Your safe place ought to always be in God, which means that when you are in trouble, you ought to always run to God. Okay? That's what it's saying. Anytime you're in trouble, you need to run to God. Anytime you are depressed, you should run to God. Anytime you're being beat down, you ought to run to God. And the reason why I'm stressing that is because 60% of people do the opposite.
Yeah.
Is that they, rather than running to God, they run away from God when trouble comes. Sometimes we run to somebody, right? So that somebody can make us feel safe. But rarely do everybody run to God. And that's where everybody needs to run. All right? So, from this day forward, right? When you're in trouble, run to God. Now, here's what most people don't, right, don't call. You can call. But here's the thing, what I'm saying. Now, he said, but rich folk, when you have wealth, you tend to think of your money as your safe haven. Okay? Now, That's the dynamic of church. As a matter of fact, when I was working on my doctorate degree, my doctoral thesis dealt with this very concept. Okay? Now here's why. When people are broke, you know what they do? They come to church. They come to church and go down to the altar and they pray and all this kind of stuff, right? Now, once the Lord bless them with a good job and the money, then, well, I ain't got to come here Sunday now. Right? And then, not everybody, but I'm saying a lot of folks. How do you know? If you look at church, if you look at the rate of church growth now, and you look at the rate of church growth on the Bush number 2, under Bush number 2, 70% of churches were experiencing church growth. Approximately 70% of churches experienced church growth under Bush 2. But think of what the economy was under Bush 2. The housing market crashed, right? AIG crashed, right? Wall Street was about to go under. Under Obama, the growth rate dropped to about 50%. Currently, it's at about 40%, the growth rate of churches. Okay? Yeah, and that is directly tied to how people feel about how secure they are. The more secure you are, the more you rely on you. The less secure you are, the more you rely on God. Okay? But the point that the author is making is what? No matter what, you should understand that just because you have money today, don't mean you're going to have money tomorrow. So you ought to always bank your security on God and not on how much money you have in the bank. Now, but by the same token, leave you a little money in the bank. Okay? Not that that's your safety blanket, but you know, the Bible does tell us what? That you put a little away for a rainy day. Okay? But that's not your strong tower. Right? Because money can't buy good health. Right? Money can't buy good friends. Money can't buy all that kind of stuff. All right? Okay, we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Verse 12 says, before destruction, the heart of the man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Verse 12 is Richard Nixon. Okay? Verse 12 is Richard Nixon. It says, before destruction, the heart is haughty. Meaning that what? Before you get knocked down, you talking junk. Before you get knocked down, your chest poked out, and you talking junk, and you daring people, and you telling folk, you know, hey, listen, I ain't do nothing, and I know I ain't do nothing, and I know I'm innocent, and get out my face. But then once they found out you really did it, and you get knocked down, then change comes, right? And it says that, and before honor is humility. What it's telling us is this. Hey, listen, if you came in with your head down, humbled, then even if they knocked you down, nobody would be pointing at you so hard. That you could have maintained your honor if you came in humble. Because if you come in humble, you're not talking junk. You're recognizing that what? Hey, listen, if I was wrong, I wasn't trying to be wrong. And I want to apologize up front if I was wrong. And that way, if they do catch you red-handed, they ain't going to give you 20 years or whatnot. You ain't got to resign. But if you're talking junk like we're getting right now, and they do find out you're wrong, then you're going to get out of there. And you will be what? The third president that was impeached. Y'all vote?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So how does that work for each of us? How does that apply to us then? Right? How does that apply to us?
You always be humble.
It's simple, right? It's simple as what? Stop having the big head. Okay? And that is understand that humility, because the bottom line is this. If you bragging you can do something, and I found you can't do it, right? That looks bad. But if you're humble and then you do it, it makes you look better. And really, let me tell you, that's how you know a person really can do something, when they're real humble about it. Especially when it comes to sports. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to sports, if you with somebody and they say, no, I really, you know what? I mean, I really can't shoot pool that well. I can't shoot, and then they open up the case and everything. don't play them. Or if you're the bowling ladder and folks say, no, I really can't bowl when you got 3 balls in the bag. I really don't bowl that well. They're humble, they're going to tear you up. Right? But the one talking all that mouth is the one you can't have do nothing. Okay? Because people that can do don't brag as much as people that can't do. People that can do, show it. People that can do, talk about it. All right? That's right. Ladies, ain't that true? I'm just going by what y'all tell me in the counseling session. I got an amen on this side. Can I get an amen over here? Okay. 13. I didn't expect that many amens. 13 and 20 and 21 are kind of locked in together. So we're going to look at them together as well, all right? Okay, here's 13 says, he that answers a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. 20 says, a man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. 21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. And so all these 3 verses talk about the same thing, and that is the power that rests in your ability to communicate verbally in a way that either lifts you up or tears you down. One that gives you great fortune or one that gives you great pain. Okay? When you look at 13, for example, not 13, yeah, it's 13, I'm sorry. Think about how many people you know that, go ahead and answer. You want to answer? Think about the people that you know, how you judge them that respond before they listen. You know, that they already know before they even hear the matter. They already make a decision before they get all the facts. Their mouth running before everything gets in their head. Okay? And that's what it's saying is this, is that it is not wise to ever open up your mouth until you have all the facts. Okay? Because that's an easy way to look like a fool. Right? That's what that's saying. In addition to that, it's saying, listen, that if you know how to talk right, it will benefit you in your living. Okay? If you know how to talk right, it'll benefit you in your living. And that's why it says a man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. Ain't that right, me? Okay, they didn't catch it. All right. Here's the thing. Listen, ladies. Listen. If the man can talk right, see this? See, they amen already. Right? Because how you speak often determines how we value you. Right? If you speak well, if your words make me feel good, it changes the dynamic of how I treat you. If your words make me feel bad, you ain't getting done. Right? If your words make me feel good, I give you the benefit of the doubt. If your words make me feel bad, I don't. Right? Right? Oh, absolutely. Amen. Yeah, that makes sense? Yes. Okay, all right. I don't get it either, brother. I don't get it. Okay. Now, likewise, this 21st verse is saying the same thing. That your tongue has so much power that life and death is in the tongue. Your tongue has so much power. And isn't it odd that here's what we know. The people we despise the most are people that have talked cruelly to us. I mean, if you think about it, the people that you have the least amount of trust in is based on what somebody has said. Because of how folk treat you. Because if a person treats you right, they can make if they talk to you in the right way, they can do something that may cause you a problem, but you will forgive them quicker than you will forgive somebody that's always causing you pain with their mouth. Right? Right? Does that make sense? Okay, now let's put it on the flip side then. Then what that would suggest is that we need to learn something about our mouths. Right? That would suggest then that we need to understand something, because oftentimes, and I will say this because this is a thing that we have to look at now, oftentimes our concept is that our mouth has to let you know that we are in charge and we don't take no stuff. Right? Isn't that right? Yeah. I gotta let you know. My mouth has let you know that what? I ain't taking your stuff. But how does that benefit you? See, it doesn't. Not one bit, but yet we keep doing it. And the proverb is saying that's the craziest thing to do. You are speaking death on yourself. When all you got to do is be nice. For example, let's say you go in a restaurant, all right, and you order something, and they bring you the food, and it just everything is wrong. What's the natural impulse? Send it back. Yeah. Get mad and send it back. And talk a little junk. Why the waiter got your food? Why the cook didn't ready to do something to your food? On the in and out. I'm just saying, but think about it. Isn't it a natural impulse? I ain't ordered this. Why you bring me that? I wanted to medium rare. This ain't medium rare. We never. Excuse me. I hate to bother you, but this is not quite what I ordered, and I don't want you to listen. Please, I know you're busy, but do you mind going back and da 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 da? That ain't what we do. That ain't what we do, is it? We talking a little junk, right? We talking a little junk, right? And what the folk gonna do when they take it in the bag? Put the secret sauce on. And the same thing applies in normal conversation, right? The same thing applies in normal conversation. You get pulled over for doing 30 driving in 25 mile per hour zone. Why you pull me over? As opposed to the opposite. Sir, I'm so sorry. I knew I was speeding. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I won't speed. That's the first thing coach about. I won't speed. Ma'am, I got you on radar. Well, I don't know how you got me on radar because I won't speed. Well, I got you on radar. Right? Rather than saying what? Sir, I'm so sorry. I ain't mean. You might as well fess up and apologize. At least if you apologize and fess up, then he might say, well, you know what? You've already learned your lesson, so you go ahead and keep on going.
Right. Amen.
And you smile the whole time you're talking to him. How you doing, sir? How's your day? First responder? I love first responders myself. Tell them all that good stuff. If we look at verse 14 says, the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear. This is what I told y'all last Sunday before we had prayer. And it's true. It's saying that, you know what? Most of us can deal with a physical ailment more than we can a broken spirit or a broken heart.
There's no antidote.
There's no pill I can take when you hurt me emotionally. There's no pill I can take when you hurt me emotionally. And so therefore, that causes me more anguish than anything else because there's nothing else I can do. Put your finger up, Jeff. There you go. traditional Baptist I gotta live. I don't know where it came from, but it looked good. Right, yeah, but he was tipping right, but he just didn't hit his finger. All right. If that's the case, and we all agree that that's the case, right? We all agree that that's the case. Then what doesn't that suggest something about how we need to reframe how we interact with people as Christians?
Yes.
Right. If I know that causing you emotional pain is devastating, then why do we do so much of it? Because matter of fact, we do it purposefully. Because we know it will cause you emotional pain. If a man is trying to bring if a woman trying to bring a man down, what's the first thing she holler? What's the first thing she say to him? All people in here. So all y'all know what they do, right? So what are you trying to strike? See, you ain't trying to strike him physically. What are you trying to do? You're trying to strike him mentally. Because your concept is that's going to give him more pain than anything else. If I can break him down mentally, if I can bruise him in the heart, that will hurt more than anything else, right? And he won't get nowhere. We won't do nothing, no honey. I don't know why she wants it. That's what y'all do. So the point then is that listen, this is the deal. Now, I'm especially for those of you who are in relationships, this is the deal. You got to understand something. What is this talking about? When you are arguing with someone, you always want to fight fair. Because when you attack me and wound me spiritually, that wound does not heal. It's going to be there from the time you do it to the time one of us die. And that's what this is talking about. So if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we are having a debate about something, I don't care how mad I get, I got to remember, I should not try to wound your spirit. Because if I mess with if I wound your spirit, that's not going to heal. Now I can slap you, you're going to get mad, but that pain ain't going to be with a minute. But now I know women saying right now, you're going to be some flower bringing and singing right. But I'm just saying, but if he hurts you to the heart, that's going to stick with you. That's going to stay. And the reverse is true, because women, that's what y'all do all the time, is y'all try to hurt us to the heart. But that's going to stay. And that's going to cause problems down the road of peace. And so that loving man that was dating you initially becomes cold-hearted down the road. And that's why. It ain't because he don't love you. It's because he got to protect his heart against your mouth. That's as loud as you can say it. Y'all know the truth. Y'all know the truth. Amen. It's a hard truth. I get it. It's a hard truth. It's true. Okay. Hard truth. Right. 15 says, the heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. That's just straightforward stuff. If you got good sense, what? You're going to try to know. If you got good sense, you're going to always try to find things out. And if you got good sense, you can always listen to get the facts. That's all that's saying. Okay? That's straightforward. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. Right? Same thing. It is what? For everybody in here, God has given you a talent that nobody else can top. Okay? And it says basically what? If you focus on your talent, stop trying to be like somebody else, but be like yourself. If you just focus on you, then what you are will bring you up to where you need to be. So that means what? There's no need to be jealous of anybody. Because nobody has what you have. Okay? And anybody that tries to talk down to you is jealous of what you have.
Amen.
And that's what this is referring to. Okay? Just do you, and that's all you got to do. He that is first, I just did 16. I'm on 17 now. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searches him. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searches him. So that's telling all of us, listen, hey, if you already established yourself as being the best, we're going to have to verify. We're going to have to verify. We ain't going to trust you. That's what this thing, we ain't going to trust you. That those people that's always talking about how great they are, this is what happens. When you put yourself up here, people look for a reason to knock you down. That's what they're saying. But if you don't set yourself up, then they don't look for a reason to knock you down. So rather than you building yourself up, it's saying let others do the building. Let them examine you and put you up here. Don't you put yourself up there. Because as people, you heard, I'm sure you all heard the term, the cream will rise to the top. That's how people really like to view people. We don't even like people that's always bragging all the time. Only one man we like for bragging. That's Muhammad Ali. Right? We love him to brag, but that was only because the times we lived in when he bragged. We don't like folks bragging now. If you bragging, we're looking for somebody to come and take your spot. You know, that's just the way life is. Okay. All right. We're still in this thing so far, right? Okay. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. The lot causes contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. All that is saying is the way to sell the argument is to flip a coin. That's all it's saying. Because a lot, when they drew lots, you know, like they drew straws, whatever, or whatever. If we got a problem, contention, if we have a problem, if you saying A and I'm, because both of us can be right. Right? Yes, both of us can be right. But if we don't just say to ourselves, listen, we both are right, that's it, we argue long enough, let's just flip a coin. That way it's a done deal and we can move on. So this is just saying what? Stop arguing about stupid stuff and just know what? Let's just move on. Right?
Okay.
Right? Amen. Okay. Hard tonight, I tell you, it's hard crowd tonight. 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars. We already talked about 19, didn't we? Yeah, I think I mentioned that because Lee's asking a question there. Okay. 20 we've already covered. 21 we've already covered. Right? 22. 22. Maybe this will liven things up. Whosoever findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Amen. Amen. That's good right there. Amen. Now, let me note some things that are not in there right quick. No, this is not negative. This is not negative. No, this is not negative. I want you to note the adjectives that are not there. It doesn't say he who findeth a good wife. It just says he who findeth a wife. That's all it says. It doesn't qualify to what kind of wife. It says he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. No, really. But have you ever wondered? I mean, you may not have, but have you ever thought about why he would not qualify the type of woman? Because think about it further on, and those of you who would like to read ahead, further on, right, he talks about what a good woman is. But he doesn't say here, because if he was trying to, tie them together, he would have said, he who finds a virtuous wife findeth a good thing. So why do you think he would not put that adjective in there? Because I can tell you, the average man doesn't think the way Solomon thinks. Okay, I'll tell you then. Well, the secret is not in the Old Testament. The secret is in the New Testament. If you think about what Jesus said, a husband is to be to his wife. He said a husband to be to his wife what Christ is to the church. Is the church good? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? Huh? Let's figure out what the church is. She is the church. He is the church. Oh, you thought it meant be to him what he is to the building? No, he didn't say, husbands love your wives like Christ loved the building. He said like Christ loved the church. Do you think everybody in the church is categorized as good? No. All these hellish people in the church. Half y'all don't even like each other.
What?
Speaking the truth there, Doc.
Huh? He knows the truth. I'm just saying. So what? But he said what? So if when a husband, Christ imputed righteousness on you. You want good. He imputed his own goodness on you. Right? So he's saying that when I find a wife, I am the one that's supposed to impute my goodness on her. That's why if I find a wife, I'm finding a good thing. Because it's my goodness that I'm imputing upon her, not her goodness. So it's my job to make her good. Got it? Yeah. And not only does he find what? A good thing, but then it says what? He obtained favor of the Lord. Ain't that something? Why would he then obtain favor of the Lord? Right. You're absolutely right. Why? Because he will be following the plan that God laid out for humanity. Because that's the plan. Right?
Right.
I mean, does it make sense? Yeah. Now, so what is the, why then do you think that doesn't happen in reality? Because the men are foolish. She said because y'all are fools. Maybe it's because women don't know how to become more Bible.
That's right.
No, no, here's why. It's that way because we are not taught. We're not taught to respond biblically to situations. You have not a one of you in here. I'm saying this because of my counseling with people. All right. I mean, I could possibly be wrong in this statement, but I doubt it. Not a woman in here was probably trained by their mother to respond to a marriage biblically. See, you're trained to respond worldly. Your mother didn't train you to prepare for marriage as being eternal. Your mothers would probably say something like this: girl, let me tell you something. Don't you get that man all your money. Don't you put all your trust in a man. You save some money just in case you need an exit strategy. I didn't say yours did. I just said what? That's all I said. But that don't. But okay, I'm not saying she did. She could have. I don't know because I wasn't in the house. I don't know how she told you to be as a wife. I'm just saying most people go by the premise that doesn't suggest how a husband should be the covering for the wife. That's what I'm saying. But biblically, that's what it says. You see? And so if you've been trained to do something a certain way, that's how you respond. Because we are people that respond to stimuli. You respond to stimuli. And if you have been taught to respond to stimuli in a certain way, that's what you do. And when you do that, it throws all of this out of whack. Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But that's right what you just said. We're supposed to respond biblically, put everything together. I do hear other women saying this, but I do believe if you're coming together, you're coming together. Not hide this and do that. I hear a lot of that.
But, right, and not just with money, but I'm saying with money and with the way we manage our homes and when we do all that stuff. You know, most people don't teach you to respond biblically to situations. They teach you to respond carnally to situations. In other words, they teach you things like this, is that everybody's created equal. That's the biggest lie I ever heard. Everybody ain't created equal.
Right.
And the Bible doesn't say we were created equal. But that's what we have been taught. There's nowhere the Bible says we're created equal. Nowhere. Ain't a woman. There is not a woman in here that can, on average, lift as much weight as the average man in here. There ain't a woman in here on average can run faster than the average man in here. And the fastest woman in the world can't run as fast as the fastest man in the world. And the fastest and the strongest woman can't lift up as much as the strongest man. See, we are not created equal. There's not a man in here that can have a baby. Don't want to. But even if you wanted to, you can't. Because we have not been created equal. But when people keep putting in your head that you are equal, you treat each other like you equal. Right? So then the man says what? Y'all, we equal. Why should I cover you? We equal. Well, not just that, but it ain't just pay half, but why should I worry about your emotional health? Because we're equal. So I shouldn't worry about making sure you emotionally that you are always, here. Because we're equal. You need to be making sure emotionally I'm somewhere. You think about it. So the man is saying the same thing. You want me to worry about you? How you think I feel? But biblically, we don't care how you feel. See, the Bible says we don't care how the man feels. Well, then you know what chapter that's in too, don't you? Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians 5 says we don't care how you feel. Your job is to treat her like Christ treats the church. Yes. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Basically, it says, see, biblically, here's what it says. The woman should manage the home. Manage the home. Right? That means the woman should be a manager of the home. You follow me? But see, what women say is this. Women don't necessarily like to manage the home. They want to manage certain aspects of the home. See, the average woman, let's say you got a house, right? You got an acre lot. The average woman don't worry about the grass getting cut. Right? I'm saying, the average woman, she expect what? The man to do. You better go out there and cut the grass. But see, that's not how. If you read a virtuous woman, the woman worries about that. It says she does that stuff. She buys the field. What? She considers it. She does it because she's managing that process. I mean, even doing it, I'm just saying. But see, she makes sure it gets done and not by yelling at him. That ain't what it says. Now, again, all I'm saying is this: what is that the way we have? See, we are taught carnally, but then we try to pile the biblical stuff on top of it, and it don't work. But if you follow the biblical one, see, it don't matter because then the man's job is a little different. His job is to what? If I find me a wife, then what? I gotta make her good by my goodness. Okay? Because the reason I found her is so what? She can make me better. And to make me better, I have to show her how to make me better because she ain't gonna know. I gotta show her. I'm serious. See, again, I see that look on your face. I can see it way back here. Ain't that blind? I am blind, but ain't that blind. No, but I'm serious. Let me tell you something. See, let me tell you something. Only I know what I am weak at. You just think you know.
Amen.
See, but I know. But if you think you know, you will concentrate on what you think I'm weak at, and that might not be my weak point. I might just make a decision. You want to do it? Do it. You think you bad? Do it. And that might not even be my weak point. You might decide you think I'm weak with money. Right? So I pay, I got to do all this stuff. And I might just say, well, okay then. I'm going to give you $400 a week. Here it is. And the rest of it, I'm going to do what I want to do with it. But see, if you had let me handle it, we might have been taking it and investing, and I might have been using my wise skills, and we might have been a millionaire by now, because right now we're just splitting the money up. Because you think that's my weak point, but it might not be my weak point. But your mama said.
I know.
Yes, yes. Say again.
Get your hand up. Huh? What daddy said? You think you're going to listen to what their daddy said? You ain't never been married, have you? Did anybody listen? Women don't listen to what their daddy say.
I did.
Listen to what their mama said. Who said I did?
I was raised by my father.
Boy, that's different then. I'm talking about, if the mama and dad is in the home, you don't go back. I mean, you might love your dad. My daughter loves me, but she don't do it. She do what she say. She don't think I know no better.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that right? Hey, man. Get your hand up. The last chapter. Yeah. The end chapter. You want to put it at the end? Because they put it at the beginning, you start reading. See, ain't got to read no more. I ain't doing all this stuff. Hey, that's what you be saying. I ain't doing all this stuff. I ain't reading no book. No, but it's in it. Okay. But think about, ladies, think about it this way. Wouldn't you rather have a man that thought this way? Mm-hmm. That says that when I get you, that you know what, it is my job to make you the blessing that I want you to be. I know. See, the scripture is there. It's just up to us to walk in it. Yes. Absolutely. Sure. Oh, another question? Okay. But since you mentioned that part 3 of singles class, I mean, so you got that, sister, that they want another singles class. But just also part 3, but also just so you know, we're going to be having a couples retreat as well coming up that we're planning, couples retreat, and this time it's going to be some breaking. We're going to have breakout workshops this time. So in addition to having together workshops, we have breakout workshops. Breakout workshops again, like we do, we're going to focus on real stuff. Okay, so real stuff, and we're going to have it broken down based on where you are in your relationships. Because like if you've been married for 5 years, you're not in the same space if you've been married for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So you're married for 5 years, everything is still kind of new, right? You're married for 30 years, it's old, and if you bring something new, now I'm wondering what's going on. Where you get this new stuff from? All of a sudden, you done popped up with something new. What's going to happen? Who showed you something new now? So we're going to have it broken out, so it's based on, where you are and so on, that kind of thing. All right, so more to come. That's going to be. Yeah.
Is that only for married folks?
No, anybody can come, but I'm just saying, it will be designed for couples.
But there will be breakout sessions. So, you know, when the women break out, you can break out with them, you know. But then when we come back together, that's how it is. Now, the only difference is if you're single, you won't be able to practice what we learn. At least I hope you won't try to practice what we learn. Okay? All right. Okay. Verse 23, the poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. And all that's saying is this: when you ain't got nothing, when you don't have money, then you be begging. I'm not begging is the wrong term. When you don't have money, you don't talk junk. You know, when you don't, and that's true in everything you do. Let me tell you something. If you go on a car lot, for example, you can go on a car lot broke, and you don't talk like the person who's got cash. You know, because when you got cash, you talk junk. Because you ain't got to be here. Now you can give me the good deal right now, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm paying cash. I want a discount for paying cash. I want a discount because you took me too long to get to me because you thought I didn't have cash. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I done been over there, and they already told me what they're gonna do for me. Now what you gonna do? You talking junk. When you got no money, well, you know, I can put at least 5% down, and my credit ain't all that good, but I see y'all got, you know, financing anybody up here. So it's this whole different atmosphere, and that's really what this is saying. You know, when you're poor, you got to, you know, grovel a little bit, and when you got some money, you can talk junk. Okay. That's when you're poor, right? That's when you're poor. And I still want no credit, even though it got 4 wheels on the motor, right? No air conditioning. You know what? This got him too. When I was poor, I ain't poor no more. But when I was poor, I'm middle class. I'm middle class. But when I was poor, and I went there, the first new car that I bought when we were married, and I went to the dealership. This is what I told the man. I want the cheapest car you got on the lot. That's brand new. That was my only requirement. The cheapest thing you got on the lot, brand new. And this dummy showed me something else. And I said, that's the cheapest car. He said, yeah. I started walking away. And his manager came to me and said, sir, what's wrong? And I said, I told him I want the cheapest car y'all got on the lot, but I want it to be brand new. He said, are you really serious? I said, yeah. He said, come here. He took me in the back. And there was a little old truck back there. You know what I'm talking about, brother? There was a little old truck back there. A Mazda B2000 truck. This was a brand new vehicle. Had roll-up windows. Had AM FM radio. Had no air conditioning. Brand new. And he said, you see right here, $49.95. Brand new. That's right. They were back in about 84. About 84, 85. No, it was 84, because it was 84. It was 84 vehicle. $49.95. And you know back then they had air conditioning in cars. Brand new, no AC, no 8-track, no cassette, no nothing. 5-speed. 5-speed. Yeah, roll up window.
We were just talking about that. That was my first car. Hyundai with no air.
There you go. That's it. Go with that car on the ground too. See right there. Okay. The last verse, and then we'll be done. We're not going to start although I'm tearing at Proverbs 19. My goodness, it's good stuff. Proverbs 19. Read Proverbs 19. All right. Good stuff. Proverbs 19. Better than the wife finding one. A man that have friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Okay. Now people always quote this referring to Jesus Christ. That's not really what the proverb is about, but it's true. Okay, but it's true. Now, what is he really referring to is this: is that if you have a good friend, it is better than having a brother. Because a good friend will do for you what your brother sometimes won't, right? Or your sister, if you know whatever, right? And the only way you can get a good friend is for you to be the kind of friend that you want that person to be to you.
So if you want that person to be the kind of friend that you can spend the night over their house, then you got to let them spend the night over your house. If you want that friend to be the kind of person that you can trust, then you got to be trustworthy to them. Right? So whatever you expect from that person that you want as your ideal friend, you have to be that same kind of person to them. And when you do that, Solomon says you're guaranteed to have a friend that you can bank on better than you can your own flesh and blood. Okay? And see that? Look at it. See them friends right there? Look at that. See? I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all, amen on that one, ain't you? Amen. That's right. And I'm gonna tell you right now. I can speak from personal experience that when you I ain't got a whole lot of them. I ain't got a whole lot of them, but I can have enough to make me. I got enough of these kind of friends that if y'all kick me out of church right now, that's right. Wouldn't even matter. They're coming here and all y'all be in trouble. Leave what y'all doing?
That's right.
Come on. And I'm hearing them. If I was homeless, I could go over their house right now and they would ask me for one dime. And if their wife said he can't stay, they tell her to get out. That's right. You say, baby, I don't know, don't tell you, but knowing him longer than knowing you. So you got to go. That's right. Everybody, let me say something. Everybody needs at least one friend like that. One friend that will take it to the grave. That's right. That's right. If you ain't got one friend like that, I feel so sorry for you. So sorry. That's right. All right? That's ride or die right there. That's ride or die, ain't it? And ain't nobody come between y'all, listen. That's right. And if they think they are, they're crazy, ain't it? And you'll put everybody out of the house first, won't you? What you talking about, girl? I've been saved, I still know what you're talking about, all right? All right, listen, we're going to end up right there because, I don't want to start 19, some good stuff, but I don't want to start 19. And that way, you get out early tonight, all right? 7:58. Okay, all right? Any questions about anything? None? Yes, sir, I already got it squared with you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling. You're good, sir. Mike took care of it. All right, listen, God bless you. Thank you, sir. Have a smile for you. I got 7:58, so if you got some kids, go on upstairs and get them. Right? If you ain't, go home.